Another crime story, this one out of Kansas City, Missouri, which was once famous for, jazz and good barbecue. It's now making headlines there for something entirely different, rising crime. As a result, businesses are shutting down or moving out, and surprise, surprise, it has a lot to do with pro-crime left-wing policies. Jason Mattera has the report.
Kansas City's once thriving streets are now scenes of fear and frustration. Violent crime has surged, placing the city among the most dangerous in America.
In recent years, we've seen an increase in violent crime in Kansas City. In 2023, Kansas City actually had the record number of homicides for a single year. It was just over 180 homicides. And for the last several years, Kansas City has actually been ranked among the top 10 most dangerous cities in America, according to U.S. News.
And it's not just the violence. Property crimes, vandalism, car break-ins, drag racing are surging too, choking small business owners who say the city no longer feels safe.
We've got employees and customer cars getting stolen out of the parking lots in broad daylight. Every day there's glass in all the local parking lots. In the Crossroads district and beyond, officials say that foot traffic has dropped, and storefronts that used to be busy, well, they're now boarded up. Senator Luke DeMeyer points the finger directly at progressive governance.
When law enforcement officers feel like they're under attack by the left, it's harder for them to do their jobs, to apprehend criminals, to get them off the streets. And when you have progressive prosecutors who are refusing to appropriately charge criminals, bring them to justice, and they're just getting a slap on the wrist and they're back out on the street the next day, that is a recipe for lawlessness. And that's what we've seen here in Kansas City.
Senator Luke DeMeyer calls it a criminal carousel where the same offenders keep getting dumped back on the streets. And the public's had enough.
We're in this position because the city has failed to make the neighborhood safe and desirable.
The city was forced to create a special fund just to reimburse businesses after break-ins, but some say it's too little, too late. Many have closed their doors. They're relocating, taking jobs and tax revenue with them.
There are local businesses that are leaving certain parts of the city because of the crime epidemic that we're experiencing right now, and that's something that we're hearing across the region.
Senator Luke DeMeyer says he and his colleagues have taken decisive action, blocking efforts to defund the police and cracking down on violent repeat offenders with tougher penalties.
Make sure when you're getting out and voting, you're electing city leaders who have a record of supporting law enforcement. And when you're choosing a prosecutor, make sure it's someone who you believe will file charges and seek sentences that actually remove dangerous criminals from the streets.
Chris, to Senator Luke DeMeyer's point, voters have a direct say in who represents them and what priorities get pushed. Kansas City may sit in a red state, but it's run by libs, a Democrat mayor, a Democrat city council, and a Democrat prosecuting attorney. Sensing a little bit of a pattern here. So if voters don't like the direction things are heading, maybe it's time, just maybe, to give conservative politicians a shot.
Jason, I don't call Democrats the pro-crime party for nothing. They refuse to tackle the basics in public safety, sacrificing the public in the process. It's stunning to see it unravel in a beautiful Midwestern city like Kansas City. It wasn't always like this there. When did it all go south?
Yeah, Chris, I doubt you'd be shocked by this, but much of it traces back to the George Floyd frenzy when politicians lost their minds and ditched proactive policing. In Kansas City, they jumped on this reimagined policing bandwagon, attempting to slash funds meant to put cops on the streets and throwing it at social services instead, basically trying to fight crime without locking up criminals. But that social experiment has clearly bombed.
Yes, bombed, and it took the American people with it, sadly. Jason Mattera, live from our Florida newsroom. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it as always.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.